What's good, everybody? I'm Winnew, and today I'm going to give you my play-in predictions. And before that, I want to tell you that I just want to share my opinions and thoughts about these matchups in the play-in, and whom I think would take the seventh and eighth seed. And most of the things that I say might be wrong, so don't really rely on me to give the correct or the exact teams who would win in each prediction or each play-in game. So yeah, this is just a prediction, and I just want to share my thoughts and opinions about all the matchups that are going to happen in the play. Let's start off first with the Cavs and Nets. This is an easy thing for me, okay? Because when I heard that Jared Allen won't be playing for the play-in, I already said it's an easy thing. This is going to the Brooklyn Nets. If Jared Allen was there, it would be interesting because it's still a problem for Brooklyn Nets because they don't really have a big man that can really defend. You know, you've got like Andre Drummond right there. You've got Nicholas Claxton who's constantly improving on defense, but you really don't rely him that much. But yeah, it's still a problem for Brooklyn. That's why it would be interesting if Jared Allen would play. It would be also interesting because it's Evan Mobley's first time in the playoffs as a rookie. And is it playoffs? Do you count the play-in as a playoffs? That's what other people are saying. But for me, I don't count the play-in as a playoff. So you need to reach the playoffs to be part of the playoffs. That's what I think. So like I think you gotta reach the playoffs to be part of the playoffs or end your drought that you're not in the playoffs. So yeah, I have here the Brooklyn Nets. It's easy to do this because you have KD, you have Kyrie, you have one of the best scorers in that team, like of all time. You can even debate the of all time. So yeah, this is an easy thing because like they have the enough depth to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's easy. Like it won't be hard. It's still gonna be difficult because Cleveland is a good defensive team with Isaac Okoro and maybe a bit of Evan Mobley in there. So like it's a bit hard, but like they're still a young team. But I don't think that Brooklyn will not take that opportunity to go up against the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. So I think that they will take this game and try to go up against the Boston Celtics, which for me is a good matchup because when Robert Williams was down, it was like a good matchup between Brooklyn and Celtics because they don't really have a like big man you can rely on, especially when Robert Williams out because he's one of the best anchors in defense for Boston. Without him, it will be interesting what they can do against the Brooklyn Nets. So we will see what happens in this matchup. But like, yeah, I have the Nets taking on or taking the seventh seed. And let's go on to the ninth and tenth seed, which is between the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks. And this is going to be a game wherein it will be a ton of scoring. Like it will go to like maybe 120, 30 game maybe. So yeah, this is ton of scoring, no defense. So this will be fun because this is like a Lamelo type game. This can be like a Trey Young type of game. But I really think the X factor in this game is the experience, and that team is the Atlanta Hawks because they are like they. I think they forgot. Maybe I think they reached the conference finals last year, so they have the experience. So I have them taking this game, and I know it's still young for Lamelo and all those guys right there, especially for Miles Bridges. And yeah, it's still a learning team for them, and I think they can blow up next season, and like become even better, even becoming better than the 10 seed. So like yeah, I will have to take Atlanta in here because you even have like Clint Capella who's like alright right now, and you have Trey Young, and I think Trey Young is going to blow up in that game. Trey Young is going to have a good game, especially with Kevin Werther and Bogdan. Even though Bogdan is like sometimes off, yeah, Kevin Werther is good right there. And yeah, I have because there's Trey Young, and Trey Young is really good. So yeah, and the experience of Atlanta Hawks will be a good X factor. So yeah, I think Atlanta is going to take that game. And for me, who will be the eighth seed in that one? So we have Atlanta and Cleveland. Very young teams. Very young teams. And it will be interesting who would take this one. But if Jared Allen won't still play, Bro, I think Atlanta's going to take this one. Atlanta's going to be the eighth seed. And we're going to have a Miami versus Atlanta first round. I would take that. I would take that over an injured Cleveland Cavalier team. I know Cleveland has been having a great season so far. We never expected them to be this good, but like with their injuries and how injuries really destroyed their team from being from like them, I think almost being like the one seed or even the one seed to now dropping to the seventh and not even reaching the playoffs for me in my prediction. I think it's just bad luck for them in the second round, like second half of the season, because of all these injuries. I think they can become better next season, especially when Colin Sexton will come back and like Jared Allen is healthy. So like this team will become better. But for now, I have Atlanta Hawks because I think it will all be with Trey Young. Trey Young is going to take over this game. Like Trey Young is going to take over games eight. I know the games 9 and 10, and the game will be taking the eight seed. So I think Atlanta is really going to take this one, but it won't be shocking for me if like Darius Garland is going to take over. So my seventh seed will be Brooklyn Nets, and my eighth seed will be the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference. We're going to have a Miami versus Atlanta, which is a game that I would take. It would be a nice game to watch rather than watching like an injury prone Cavalier team against a very healthy Miami Heat team versus and a Boston versus Brooklyn Nets game, which is going to be like maybe a 7 game series. That will be good. That will be fun to watch. And now let's go on to the Western Conference, and we have the seventh and the eighth seed. That's the games of Minnesota and the Los Angeles Clippers. In this game, this is a very very hard game to pick because like they are good, like they are good, and you don't know if Towns will take over or maybe Paul George will take over, and like it's hard, like it's hard. Maybe Anthony Edwards might take over, or we may see the ice cold vein of D'Angelo Russell be back, the ice in my veins, D'Angelo Russell coming back. But bro, I want the Clippers to win. The Clippers to win. Shout out to Chris Finch, the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, as he was given an extension. But yes, I'm going to take here the Los Angeles Clippers. The LA Clippers have been so good this season. They're very fun team to watch, especially with Amir Coffey being good. Um, Reggie Evans looking good. Or Reggie Jackson, not Reggie Evans, bro. Reggie Jackson looking good, playing good, not looking good. But yeah, it's also good. Looks good as well. Cause they are a fun team to watch. Like they are like a college team, because anybody can have a good game. And with Paul George coming back, I think he will be the guy who will take this team to the seventh seed. So now let's go on to the next game in the Western Conference, which is the New Orleans Pelicans versus San Antonio Spurs. And this is a tough game as well. It's that all the Western play-in games are tough to choose. But without DeJounte Murray, and if the shots of Spurs won't hit, especially like Keldon Johnson, who's like a good, reliable shooter in the three right now, I gotta go to the Pelicans, bro. CJ is going to take over. BI is going to take over. But I think also the defense of Spurs will look good. And there are games where they took over, like Devin Vassell taking over, like Keldon Johnson taking over. So like without DeJounte, that will be a problem. Without DeJounte, I just hope DeJounte is going back healthy soon, maybe. Because like I'm just saying DeJounte play. He is sick right now. He has an illness, not COVID related, but he's very, very sick. So like I just hope he gets well better. And I just miss watching him play. So hope he returns healthy. But yeah, I gotta go with the Pelicans. The defense of the Pelicans with Herb Jones right there. Also got Valanciunas right there. He's going to take over against Jakob Bertel. So like it's gonna be easy for him maybe. And like BI and CJ, they have the experience as well. So yeah, I'm going to take with the Pelicans in this one. So it will be the Pelicans versus the Timberwolves for the 8th seed. That's all I gotta say, alright? I want to watch a game of Minnesota versus the Phoenix Suns. Is that crazy or not? Because I want to watch that game. A Phoenix versus a Minnesota game in the playoffs. The intensity of Patrick Beverly and CP3, that is a must watch. And Carl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, and D'Angelo Russell, whom are best friends in real life, playing up against each other, that is a good game to watch. The stories in that game, all of that in that game, the rivalry, the trash talking, all of that, that will be fun to watch. And yeah, I'm going to have Minnesota in this one. I know the Pelicans are good and they have really improved when CJ came back. But like, I want to watch Minnesota. Bro. I want to watch Minnesota in the playoffs. And like, yeah, I just hope Zion comes back next year. Zion comes back for the Pelicans, and they will be really fun to watch. But like, yeah, I'm going to have the Minnesota win this. Minnesota as the 8th seed, so it will be Phoenix versus Minnesota, Memphis, and the Clippers. That will be a fun playoff, bro. That will be a very very fun playoffs. But it's only crazy because if you're in here in the Philippines, you gotta watch it at around 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock a.m. So that's kind of tough. But yeah, those are my play-in predictions. So I have Minnesota as the 8th seed, Clippers as the 7th seed, the Brooklyn as the 7th seed, and the Atlanta Hawks as the 8th seed. So those are good games to watch and those are good series to watch. Would I see an upset? I don't think so. There will be an upset. But if Atlanta can play the same game they played last year, we might see an upset. Enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all soon. If you like videos like this, subscribe. And there's also news videos like this coming up very very soon, especially in the playoffs because there's going to be a lot of news in that playoffs. So yeah, if you like those types of videos, subscribe to this channel. Alright, I'll see you all soon. Peace.